channel, and I'm glad that you are watching my videos. I am sharing my newest little creation called Summer at the Lake. It's a mini journal, which is about 4 by 6 inches. And I wanted to create a little project here. Tomorrow is Labor Day, so it's a long 3-day weekend, and I just wanted a little project that represented how I'm feeling right now with summer, and I'm kind of glad it's coming to an end with the hot weather, and we're going into Labor Day weekend. And I wanted to create a project that was easy to print. It's available on my Etsy shop. It's only 3 pages. So you have 1 page of all the pretty images, and then I hand watercolored 2 pages for backgrounds. I've got the little Summer at the Lake tag and the butterfly there too. So inexpensive. For, you know, under $5-6, you could print off this whole thing and then just have something to play with and create over the long weekend. So let's show it to you. So it starts with this pretty girl, which I put on the cover. You know, it's up to you what you want to put on the cover. I thought she was really cute, and I like the way she was in a pretty dress on the lake, on the dock with the person, boyfriend, I don't know, husband, who's going to take her out in the canoe, and the little butterfly and Summer at the Lake. I also included some fabric scraps I have, so I suggest, you know, incorporating little things that you have in your crafting supplies. This is a little piece of vintage trim. I didn't want to do lace or too fancy because it's kind of a more casual journal. And then I was going through my pantry, and we use a French press now, and I have these old coffee filters that I think they're just natural paper. So they're naturally like this brown color, and I just pleated them and made little ruffles, which you can see. And then the butterfly I mounted on a little piece of cardboard from a cereal box. So it's just brown on the back side, and I used a little tack it there. So let's open her up. So here's the lake, which actually this is a vintage postcard of a lake in Richmond, Virginia, where I used to live. So that was, just knowing that is pretty neat. I didn't live on that lake, but that lake is downtown. And then here's some of the watercolor papers that are in the kit, scraps that after I was done, I just tacked them all together and made a little notepad which you could journal on or make a little note. Here's possibly the lake house, or a lake house I would like to have. Maybe we're manifesting here. That's a fun idea. I'll stay in frame for you. And then here's a piece of vintage music paper, which is not in the kit, but you could easily go to a thrift store. There's just music sheets you can buy and put one in, and I added some watercolor. But this image is in the kit, mounted it on an old book page. They're having a picnic, and there's a little bit of water, so maybe there's a bigger lake nearby that, but I thought that was really pretty. Here's some canoeing happening on the lake. Here's a beautiful gazebo on the lake, and they're in their Victorian dresses and sitting there relaxing, looking out for birds. This is some of the watercolor looking paper that's in the kit, and you can journal on it. I tied all this together with just a piece of embroidery thread, and then I used a piece of fabric to cover but you can still see a little bit of my thread there, which I think is pretty. I wanted it to kind of look a little rustic and charming, like maybe even put it together while you're at the lake, just relaxing, doing something creative. Maybe one of the birds we see on the lake, that's all in the kit. A little photo of ladies sitting on a dock. That looks so peaceful. This photo reminds me of summers I used to spend when I was a child on Flathead Lake in Montana. We would go up there and it was just so peaceful, and this looks just like it. So I really like that image. And I made a little flip out. There's space here for journaling. I might add on a piece to this. I mean, my journals are never really finished. Like, I love to put them away and then come back to them, and then I'm like, oh, I want to add something. This is a little pocket. I just folded this up. So maybe I'll put something else on here as I go. And then always a cat, you know. And this was so appropriate with the fishing rod and the little fish mounted on that back piece of that one piece of music paper, which is in the center. And then this is such a charming little image. They look like they are having fun in the water, and then the sunset looks like something you'd see as fall is coming, like these more autumn colors and the end of the lake season. And then a little bit more space for journaling. This flips up, and I mounted this on a little piece of leftover paper bag. But this is in the kit too, the watercolor paper. So I made it, but when you print it out, it won't have the texture, but it will have this look of color. And then here's the back. So yeah, I made this yesterday afternoon, and I probably should have saved it for tomorrow because I'd like something to do on Labor Day. But I wanted to show it to you in case you wanted a little project for the afternoon to do. So I hope you enjoyed that. And it's on my Etsy shop, which is Whispers and Reverie Co. And this one is called Summer at the Lake. And it's a 3-page printable, I believe it's $2.50. So thank you for watching. Bye.